Have you not thought about a gimmick of some sort? Was that discussed with Russell at any stage?
No, we didn't think gimmicks. No, not at all. No, I just a physical gimmick, I think.
Yeah. What's the physical gimmick?
Me.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
So by now we've all seen the on-screen appearance of the next Doctor Who, the latest regeneration of the lead character, and Billie Piper succeeding Ncuti Gatwa. I had to just get this out somewhere ahead of time because I scoffed and scoffed at the rumours just a few weeks ago following the BAFTAs, the TV award BAFTAs, where Reddit was hit up, wasn't it, with a list of various rumours about the next incarnation of the Doctor being present that night. The rumour stated that it was an actress rather than an actor, and that the person in question had been in the show before. So Doctor Who fans, being the eager beavers that they are, they very quickly went and scrambled together that shortlist. The one that struck most of us as being the most unlikely, most undesirable, and batshit crazy was Billie Piper. You've got to laugh, haven't you? Got to laugh. But over the 2 or 3 days afterwards, I sort of got this sinking feeling that there might be more truth to it. Here at Type 40, we had confirmation from multiple sources that Billie indeed would be taking the role, and we would get to see her on screen this Saturday in that season finale. And that's where the sinking feeling really started hitting with me, a permanent eye roll that's lasted in the couple of weeks since. I'm resigned after this to the fact that Doctor Who, at least in its current form, is at the point where it's got nothing left to do but eat itself. But Dan, what's the problem? You love Billie Piper, we love Billie Piper. She's a great actress. What's there not to like? Yeah, Billie Piper, she's a 42-year-old actress, writer and director from Swindon. In England, star of Secret Diary of a Core Girl, Penny Dreadful, I Hate Suze, lots of other things. And she's been on screen for nearly 30 years since that first role as an extra in that Madonna movie, Evita, from 1996, despite a successful, if short-lived career in pop and 20-plus years as an actress in these big shows. It's undoubtedly still Doctor Who and the character of Rose Tyler, the iconic character of Rose Tyler that Billie Piper's most commonly associated with. Doctor Who was a massive success when it came back in 2005, and Billie Piper was an integral part of that, of its appeal. She left the series in a blaze of glory and is considered Doctor Who royalty to this day. Big part of the community, very open with fans, attends lots of conventions, and she's played Rose Tyler over and over again on audio. She's very happy to be associated with Doctor Who. That's all well and good in 2005. Here we are in 2025. The most obvious question is, why on earth her? This is the biggest role on British TV, the most coveted part in British television. Since they started casting women in the role, there are now twice as many candidates, one would think, from the thousands of working actors there must be in Britain alone to choose from. So why on earth cast Billie Piper? Playing devil's advocate here, Billie Piper is probably twice the actress that she was when she was in Doctor Who as Rose Tyler. It's been quite a career. And when you see her on screen now, she is able to immerse herself in these alternative characters, which are a million miles away from Rose Tyler. But that's not the reason why they've cast her in this role at this time. The simple reason that Billie Piper is the Doctor now is out and out gimmickry. I warned about this in 2018. A lot of us did, and we were shouted down. The BBC gave into pressure groups and to the demands of TV's worst showrunner, Chris Chibnall, in gender swapping the character of the Doctor as a total gimmick. And that's what's taken us down this road. The series hasn't made many creative swings in the 7 years since, but whatever they have been loaded up with gimmickry. Once we head down this road where we cast for any other reason but talent and suitability, it really is a creative, slippery slope. And that's what's happening here. They've arrived at a position where to leave the screen at this time for however long, they've got to make some sort of statement and leave the general public with something impactful that in their heads that nobody's going to forget, and ideally keeps Doctor Who in the forefront of their minds in the time between now and whenever it's back. What they haven't realised, what they haven't accounted for, is the fact that Doctor Who is nowhere near as popular as it once was, and that the general public have seen through all of this. The reliance on fond memories, associations with people who, since their time on Doctor Who, have gone on to have pretty stellar careers. Yeah, the general public are going to be scratching their heads, wondering about why does this make sense for Doctor Who? This is a series that can go anywhere and cast anybody and that's supposed to thrive on change. Remember when Doctor Who was all about change? So there's that. But how does this make sense to Billie Piper?
Russell T Davies is coming back, right?
Yeah, which it's exciting.
And who's going to be his doctor? I think he should be Billie Piper. Right? And I'd like to see you all struggle with it. How can she be the doctor when she was an assistant? I like the idea of it blowing fuses in the cannon, or whatever it's called.
This is going to be something that people are going to find it very difficult to swallow at all. Is Billie Piper even right for the role? And why gender swap it again when it's already failed so spectacularly and cost the series so much? Billie recently gave an interview to The Guardian where she talked about her career and where she's at right now, and they asked her about being a role model to younger people, and her reply was, I don't like it. I never liked it. It feels too frightening and it doesn't allow a lot of room for error. And I really struggled with that when I was a teenager as a singer. I just hated that feeling. She gave this interview just a few weeks ago. What on earth could have changed? Is the pay really that good, or is she helping out some old friends in their time of need? Because Doctor Who is in a bind at the moment. The departure of Ncuti Gatwa wasn't planned ahead of time. His regeneration scene was very hastily put together, and Bad Wolf and BBC Studios had two options in front of them. They knew that Doctor Who couldn't leave the screen without a lead actor in place, just disappear off into the time vortex with a fade to black. The only two big creative options they had that would send a signal that Doctor Who would be back, we promise, was either to cast some big name, Hugh Grant, for example, or to go back to another Doctor Who legend, just as they managed to do with David Tennant 3 or 4 years ago, in the belief that either of those options would be enough, at least in the short term. Long-suffering Doctor Who fans have rolled with so many punches now. We've placed inordinate amounts of blind faith, and whilst there was a genuine appetite for Billie's character to return on audio with Christopher Eccleston, that's a completely different prospect to casting Rose Tyler effectively as the Doctor. A lot of Doctor Who fans are going to simply view this as the ideal time to jump off. The normies watching, they'll roll their eyes, they'll see right through this. This could actually backfire completely and amplify all those calls for the series to just go away. There's something about failure that is very unedifying, and Doctor Who has failed spectacularly over the last 18 months to reinvent itself, to make a start of Ncuti Gatwa, and to justify the return of showrunner Russell T Davies, with the ratings having tumbled to unbelievable new lows. The concept of regeneration was indeed a stroke of genius, enabling Doctor Who itself, just like that lead character, to go on forever if need be. That should be gimmick enough in the classic series and in the new series. Regeneration had a sense of occasion about it, a feeling of being present at a genuine cultural event. The series has cheapened it over the last 10 to 15 years, and I can't blame Chris Chibnall for all of that. Stephen Moffat is just as guilty. We've had several fake outs, but when it came to the crunch, they always cast the right person at the right time, right up until 2017. And that's what's led us here. So doesn't this mark Doctor Who out as a brand which is decaying and irrelevant and past its best? Well, it's going to take 18 months or 2 years until we see how this is going to play out, how Billie's going to play the part, how long she's going to be there for. By this point, Marvel will have released that next Avengers movie, and I do wonder if the decision to return Robert Downey Jr. to the Avengers movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in a new character, he's now playing Doctor Doom, isn't he, rather than Tony Stark Iron Man. The part he originated in the noughties, that was a massive part of the success of that series of films. if they're not assuming that's going to be a huge success and thinking perhaps casting Billie Piper as Doctor Who may line up with that trend in some way, if a trend happens. To me, all this does is confirm, and this is no offense to Billie whatsoever, I really do. I like her. I like her work. I loved her as Rose Tyler. But this is a sign that Doctor Who is eating itself, entirely down to mismanagement of the brand, laziness, and this kind of quick fix, sensationalist mentality that, frankly, anybody working at that kind of level on a show like Doctor Who just doesn't need to lean on. So Billie Piper is the Doctor for the time being, for however long. Let us know what you think of this call. What could it mean for the series going forward? Will there be a series going forward? The best place to get the first word on all of that is here at Type 40, our full instant reaction special covering the reality war. And please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the cloister bell to get all our notifications. Billie Piper is Doctor Who? Really? I'll see you in the comments.